Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427's to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and yeah, I guess it looks like seeing how we've already started March not too long ago for sure, and well, I guess it has been some time since my previous thoughts video that I did. But hey, I need to help fill in the void with, of course, other videos that I've already got on the side to pretty much gag how to really help fill in the gaps for sure. So yeah, and I guess seeing how March is of course still going on as we speak, and yeah, I think I've got a lot going on as of now to really keep myself busy for sure. And on top of all that, I've already confirmed that I'm coming back to Syracuse Collectors Con that's coming up later this month for sure. So yeah, I guess it looks like I've got a lot going on as we speak that I need to get underway for sure. But until then, I think I might as well spend the next few weeks as normal, basically seeing some new movies that have came out for sure. So yeah, I think that's a little something I'll do in the meantime for sure. So yeah, and I guess for today's movie we're going to be talking about here today, honestly, I think this one I've been wanting to talk about as of now has actually piqued my interest ever since I saw the trailers and the marketing for, of course, this one, because yeah, honestly, I think pretty much from what I'm seeing from its premise, it does have some really nice, unique ideas. I think, yeah, I don't know why. I think, normally I think it's what I would say for any movie that I would do, but this one, much like some other ones I talked about in the past, does intrigue me a whole lot, and I'm actually quite curious to see on how it will go for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, this is actually a rare case for, of course, this one. But hey, I knew I needed to talk about this one somehow, and well, luckily enough, that's exactly what we're gonna do for today's thoughts video. So yeah, and I think pretty much of anything, I guess for this movie we're going to be talking about, here's something that might interest you. How about one about a guy who's willing to save all of mankind by dying? Yeah, really bear that in mind for sure, because yeah, there is a lot going on for sure. So yeah, and of course, if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about for sure, I think given to what I actually said, I think it might give you a little hint, of course, what I'm talking about here today. So yeah, and of course, if you're quite curious, I'm of course here to talk about the latest movie that just came out not too long ago that I have the privilege to go see very recently, which is none other than Mickey 17. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. It is, of course, the latest film that just came out not too long ago that I'm here to officially talk about here today. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright then, so yeah, I guess I knew going into this movie, based on what I've actually seen the trailers, I actually was pretty much interested to see how it would go. I really do love the nice little idea that they had for a pretty nice premise for sure, based on what I've actually seen in the trailers. And yeah, I guess upon looking at it, I'm like, huh, this might actually be quite interesting. Maybe I might give this one a fair shot once it actually does come out. And I know that's pretty much a lot for me to say that for sure, because I would normally say that like any other movie I would actually go see. But this one I've actually got me quite curious for sure, and I'm actually really intrigued, of course, of what they actually got. So maybe this might actually be worth my time for sure. So yeah. I guess it's what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, either way, the trailers and the marketing that they pulled off for, of course, this movie actually got me intrigued and yet quite curious for sure. And yeah, I guess if anything, I couldn't necessarily say it could deliver a great film, but it might actually deliver a pretty good one that might actually be something of that's worth the value for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I think going into this movie, just to see on how it will go for sure. So yeah, and of course, luckily enough, I did manage to get myself in to officially go and see this movie for myself. All thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas, as always. You guys rock, and yeah, pretty much if anything, got myself in to officially see this one. And well, I guess since after I just got back from, of course, seeing this movie, what do I think of this one? Well, I guess pretty much of anything. I think with, of course, what it actually providing, and of course what it's actually done on paper with some pretty clever execution, Mickey 17, in my opinion, is actually a pretty solid flick. Yeah, I really do mean when I actually say this for sure. I actually really do like this movie for sure. Is it by all means great? No, but I guess I knew based on what I've seen from the trailers, I think it's actually gonna give me a pretty solid movie. And Mickey 17 is indeed a very solid movie for sure. So yeah, not necessarily great, but I really do think it's actually a good one for sure. So yeah. That's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, now that I got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and of course, pretty much if anything, I'll give the film credit. It actually does provide some really good ideas that they actually had for sure in terms of its story. So yeah, I think with, of course, what I've actually seen, I really do like, of course, what they've actually decided to go for with, of course, this one for sure. And I'm actually intrigued, of course, what they actually did for sure. Yeah, I do follow through on, of course, a good number of areas and sequences and stuff that plays out throughout the course for sure, and it really got me fascinated for sure, and I'm actually really intrigued, of course, what it's actually providing for sure. So yeah, I guess with, of course, what I've actually seen, I really do dig on what they did with the story for, of course, this movie for sure. So yeah, I can't necessarily say it's by all means the best. I really do think they really are going somewhere with, of course, this one, and I'm intrigued in such a way. So yeah, I think it's what I can say for the story and, of course, this movie. Now, as for the writing, I have to say, well, I guess I will have to say, I do think it's actually crafted pretty good for sure. Although I think I do know some bits and pieces are, of course, not really written out very well. In fact, if anything, most of it is a little sloppy and cliched for sure. But the rest I have to say is, of course, nicely done for sure. And I'm really intrigued, of course, what they actually did for sure. They didn't really half-ass it all the way. They really took the time to try to give it some pretty good execution for its writing for sure. And I'm actually impressed with, of course, what they actually did for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say for the writing for sure. And of course, seeing how this is a comedy for sure, we should probably talk about the film's comedy. And of course, I can make the same argument for, of course, the writing for sure. I don't think he actually lands a home run all the way, but I really do love the nice bit of hard-working effort they actually did to make the film's comedy actually good for sure. And for while not all of it got me a huge laugh for sure, I did get myself a good chuckle every once in a while for sure, So yeah, I think it's what I can say for the film's comedy for sure. So yeah, I think with those three that I've actually mentioned for sure, for while I don't necessarily think it is of course a clever home run for sure, I do think it is of course a nice swinging hit all the way with of course what they actually did. And for that, I really do think they we're actually going somewhere pretty good with, of course, this one, and I'm impressed with, of course, what they actually did for sure, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so now that I've actually got those out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things that I need to talk about for sure, to which, for starters, is, of course, the characters, and yeah, I guess if there's anything that I do find quite impressive fully for sure, is that I really do think the characters in, of course, this one are actually very nicely done for sure. I really do love the way they're actually structured out to match with their personalities and, of course, their flaws that they need to overcome. And in the end, I really do like pretty much the nice bit of development to actually make them likable and interesting for sure. So yeah, I really do follow through on each character's arc throughout the course of the movie and how they're willing to overcome their flaws for sure. And for that, I really do think they really did an impressive job all the way, and I really do dig, of course, what they actually did for the characters for sure, So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, honestly, to me, I really do think they pulled off some pretty good performances, in my opinion, for sure. I really do dig, of course, the effort they actually did to make pretty much the characters compellable for sure, especially with the material that's actually been given to them. And yeah, all the actors that came on board to play all these characters, I really do think they pulled off some pretty good performances, in my opinion, for sure. But probably, I think, if anything, I do know that there are a couple of standouts throughout the course of this movie, to which, for starters, obviously enough, would have to be Robert Pattinson, as, of course, Mickey Barnes, aka Mickey 17 himself, and yeah, I guess if anything, I do know for the past few years, as of now, Robert Pattinson has actually pulled off some pretty good movies that he's actually banging up for sure. And I guess for the sake of course, this one, he really does pull off hard-working effort in his performance in this one for sure. I really do admire his commitment to actually make this one great for sure. And I really do love his nice delivery all the way for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, I do think Robert Pattinson is, of course, a massive standout in, of course, this movie for sure. I think he really making great by far, and I really do admire his commitment for sure. And of course, as another standout all the way would have to be Mark Ruffalo for sure. I do think he as well has also pulled off a really great performance all the way. And again, I really do admire his commitment to work around with the material that's actually been given for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front for sure, So yeah, I guess if anything, for the characters and the actors, I really do think that they did an impressive job all the way, and I really do admire the commitment they actually did to make this one work, and they did a phenomenal job on, of course, that front, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, now that I got those out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about for sure? Actually, quite a whole lot for sure, so yeah, with, of course, what I've actually mentioned earlier of course, the comedy for, of course, this movie, I think pretty much of anything, if there's one thing that I actually do find quite salvageable, and of course, this movie is that I really do think the comedy actually does do a fine job in, of course, matching one aspect that I admire the most in, of course, this movie. That would have to be its tone for sure. Yeah, I think I really like what they did with the film's tone for sure. I think it actually puts forward, and of course, saying everything throughout the course of this movie just fine, and with, of course, what I've actually seen by far, I really do think they really gave us something really quite fascinating for sure, and yeah, I really do think they actually really did something really great, in my opinion, for sure, and like I said, not everything about the film's tone actually hits a major bullseye for sure. But it does do a fine job nonetheless, and even has some good material that makes this movie actually worth getting its R rating for sure, so yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front. Now, as for the visuals and the effects for sure, honestly, to me, it's not necessarily the best that I've actually seen by far, but they do look pretty good for sure, and yeah, I think it does do a pretty fine job in almost convincing me that what I'm seeing is actually really there for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, the visuals and the effects are actually not that bad for sure, and even the CGI, I have to say, is actually pretty decent for sure. And let's not forget to mention, even the production design, I have to say, is, of course, actually pretty good for sure, with some really, really nice set pieces they actually made for sure to actually make this movie pretty good for sure. And yeah, I really do admire on what they actually did for sure. It really does look like they pulled off a lot of hard-working effort to, of course, make the film look pretty good visually, and yeah, it did do a pretty good job for sure, so yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front for sure. Now, I guess for the direction of this film, to which, yeah, I think one thing I need to mention is that this movie is, of course, directed by Bong Joon-ho, who is known for directing the Oscar-winning film that he did, Parasite, and yeah, I know he's a really good, talented director by far, and when it comes to this movie, yeah, I really do admire his effort he actually did to make this movie good for sure. I really do think he's at his strong point, and of course, pretty much providing some good material to work around with for sure. And I really do admire on what he actually did to make it look good for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front for sure. And of course, the cinematography, I have to say, is actually shot pretty well, as I really do admire some really good camera shots they actually providing for sure. It really is very nicely done for sure, and I really do think they really did a fantastic job on, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, on that front. And of course, for the editing, I have to say, yeah, that too is, of course, nicely done, as, of course, it does provide some pretty good cuts and stuff in many of the different scenes and sequences all the way for sure to really make this one stand out for sure. And it even does do a fine job, and of course, matching with the film's pacing for sure, to which that alone is, of course, actually done very well for sure. So So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front for sure. And yeah, I think it will pretty much showcase, of course, how I actually feel about this movie as a whole. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie for sure. So yeah, I guess overall, I guess with, of course, what I've actually seen, for while I can't necessarily say it's by all means great, Mickey 17 is still a pretty solid movie for sure that actually does provide some pretty good stuff. I'm not gonna lie, and yeah, with, of course, what I've actually seen by far, it really does deliver on, of course, what he actually did for sure. So yeah. I know, hands down, that not everything in this movie has hit the bullseye fully for sure. But I really do think they pulled off some really nice and unique tricks for sure to really make this movie work, not just on paper for when it first started out, but given the proper execution that it actually needed for sure. And this movie did exactly that for sure. I really do admire on what they actually did all the way, and for that, I think it's actually pretty much well worth it for sure. So yeah, again, I can't necessarily say this is probably the best I've actually seen for this year for sure, but do I think it's worth the recommendation? Absolutely. So yeah, for while I can't say this movie is by all means great all the way, nor would I say it's probably the best I've actually seen by far, I really do think it is still a pretty solid and yet pretty good flick all the way, and yeah, I think I knew right away from the trailers it would actually give me something that's interesting and solid, and this movie is interesting and solid all the way. So yeah, and of course, if it's something up your alley, then by all means, I say this is definitely well worth checking out for sure. Yeah, it's not fully great all the way, but I know hands down that you're going to be in for something that is indeed pretty good for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front for sure. It's not a great movie for what it is, but I really do like it nonetheless, and it's well worth your time watching it for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So for my final score, yeah, I guess I'll be nice on this one, and I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 as my final score for sure. Like I said, it's not necessarily great for what it is, but I really do like it nonetheless for sure, and it did deliver on, of course, something that's pretty solid and interesting for sure, and this movie is of course exactly that for sure. So yeah, if that's something you're looking for all the way, then by all means grab your multiple version of yourself to, well, check this movie out for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie for sure. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and by all means, what do you guys think for sure? What do you think of Mickey 17 if you have seen it already? Do you absolutely really like it and think it's a pretty solid flick all the way, or do you absolutely hate it and think it's an absolute waste of time? Or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just alright for sure? So yeah, let me know down in the comments down below on what you thought of Mickey 17 if you've seen it for yourself for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and don't worry, hopefully to help fill in the gaps for sure, aside from making more videos, I still got a few others that I'm hoping to check out for sure, so I'll be sure to let you guys know on the ones that I'll shoot to go see next for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And I am starting to realize that my multiple, as we speak, has been staring at me the whole time while I'm actually reviewing this movie for sure. You're just mainly here just for this ending sketch in this video, right? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, good enough. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyattackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with SamAttack4427's, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.